I'm Joe Reel.
And I'm Peter Gill.
And this is Two Men Talking Movies.
Say what again? Say what again?
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Get off my plane. Here's Johnny. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Good day, sir.
Ever dance with the devil in the pit? I am your father.
Beats. We can kill it.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Two men talking
Movies.
Tone mood today. So I feel like I might be a little bit lower, but I need to spunk it up.
That's fine.
Need some caffeine.
All right, welcome to another episode of Two Men Talking Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Reel.
I'm the other host, Peter Gill.
Peter, how has your week been? Well, first, actually, before we get into that, should we
Yeah,
start off with
let's tell
the
the
bad
truth.
news?
Let's tell the truth.
Let's tell the truth. This actually is a re-recording of this episode.
It happened, folks.
Yeah, we've been pretty good without any troubleshooting or technical difficulties. And what? When did we record? Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
We recorded, and I went to edit on Saturday, playing Xbox like I normally do. Turn the Xbox on, start playing the game, and just letting the sound roll, and I edit as I'm playing. And
What were you playing?
I was playing Wolfenstein: The Old Blood.
Oh,
It's a very fun game.
as opposed to Wolfenstein: The New Blood.
No, The New Order.
Oh yeah. Got it.
So
Got it.
it's very nice. So I was playing, and as the audio starts to roll, it just sounded terrible. I sent you a clip, and it was. Well, how would you describe what it sounds like?
I was really disappointed in you. I lost a little bit of faith in your technical ability to record us.
I still to this, I don't know what happened. I'm guessing something
It's probably the devil.
was plugged in wrong, or I don't know.
Didn't you hate that when like pastors were like, you had something like go wrong in your life, like you lost your wallet? Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's the devil telling you you're spending too much, son.
This guy at work tripped and fell, and he caught himself and said, "Oh, the devil almost got me."
Better get right with God, son. Get on the altar.
Yeah,
You'll find
it's
your
like,
wallet.
what the-
No, sometimes I just lose things because I'm an idiot.
So this is our re-recording of that episode. So we had to trash all that. We actually did 2 episodes. Right?
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, we had to trash that.
We're very efficient
Trash
here
both of those. So.
at Two Men Talking Movies Incorporated.
So we had to trash both of those, and we're gonna redo both of those. So this is the first one you're gonna hear. We're gonna, I guess, I don't know. It'll be a whole new episode.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. You'll be ready for all my
Really.
witty
So when we go
comebacks.
forward, as we're actually saying, like if we ever say we're on this episode of recorded, this is actually we've recorded 2 actually extra episodes. than
Yeah, this
one.
will be our. I'm doing the math here. This will be our
Eighth.
eighth
Yeah,
episode.
this will be
Wow.
episode
Look at
8.
us.
Even though it's gonna be labeled as episode 6, it's really
I know.
8.
Labels. I hate labels.
So yeah. So anyways, so new in my life, trying to wind down the gears for school.
Wait, don't you wind them up for school? I think you got this backwards.
Well, I guess I'm greasing them up, but I'm trying to get everything going.
What kind of machine you running here?
Everything, the financial aid offices
Oh, I
are
hated those
are so
people.
rough. Like I don't.
They're the nicest, but the worst.
Yeah, I don't understand how something so simple has to be so complicated.
Yeah.
And everything, like they put some dates on you, and they're like, stuff has to be in by this time. But then when they get everything in, they take as much time as they need to get stuff back to you. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. It was like, oh, our process is a 10-day business processing time.
Yeah, like I submitted my.
You submitted a week before. They're like, oh, it takes us 10
Yes.
days to process.
Well,
we might get to this in
I
time.
submitted in Virginia, we have something called VTAG, which is Virginia Tuition Assistance Grant. And I submitted my application for that. And so that was like 3 weeks ago, and it still hasn't been. It still says
Right.
pending review.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
With some 55-year-old lady.
Like,
She's
what-
the sweetest thing.
How long does it take to look at a piece of paper and say approved or denied?
Probably as long as it takes for her to get a perm.
I mean, it was a 1.5 page thing I had to fill out.
Yeah.
And most of it was, I wrote NA, because
I remember the last time walking out of the financial office at my university thinking, God, I never want to be here again. Thank you for getting me this far. But I never, ever want to step foot in those doors again. Because
Wow.
they're just the nicest. They would say it in the nicest way. Oh, man, you're $3,000 short. I just don't know where we will get that money.
wow.
It's like, well,
What would they do? Would
what
they
are
just
my
ma-
options?
Would they make you just take another loan out or what?
Well, you've used up all your fast lending, so they would just look at me like, what? So what? What am I going to do now? Just not finish school? I've done all this. I've taken all these loans out. What am I not going to do? Well, there's these options here, or maybe your Pell Grant, and it just gets spirals out of control.
So what was the end result of those scenarios?
Fortunately, I had some money come through from places I didn't think it was going
nice.
to come through.
Okay, cool.
So my parents took out a loan for me, which is really nice.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. And that got me through my last little bit of schooling.
See, it's kids. What it is well, kids these days do understand how hard it is to go to school. What it is this older generation who doesn't understand that you can't.
Well, Sonny, just buckle down.
Yeah, you can't work a part-time job and support yourself through school. That doesn't work anymore.
No. You'd have to work 2 to 3 jobs
Full-time.
and still go to school full time.
Yeah.
If you want to finish in 4 years.
And then you
Take
probably
summer
still have to
classes.
take out loans. It's ridiculous.
Yep, definitely. Just depends on which school you go to and how fortunate your situation. You have to be pretty fortunate to get through with, and that's how I was.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. I worked 2 jobs in the summer, 2 jobs at school.
Do you think that that's going to change in this country at all?
Yeah,
Do you think that there's going to be some kind of regulation where they say that you can't?
there's going to be a lending bubble where a bunch of people default on their student loan debt, and then
just
there's
like
going to
the
be
whole housing crisis.
oh, for sure. There's over $1 trillion in student loan debt,
Jeez.
and there's no way to get out of it except for like death
Yeah.
or working for the government.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then there's going to be some schooling that's going to be free. Like community college is going to be, I think, pretty much paid for.
By the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I also think, I don't want to get too much into politics, but I also think there's going to be some type of living wage in the next 20 or 30 years. Like if you live in the United States, you get X amount of dollars to be able to pay for healthcare, to be able to pay for housing, transportation,
So
schooling.
you think you're saying like the minimum wage will be the living wage?
Yeah, I just think everyone's going to get a
And they'll-
$15,000 check or a $20,000 check to be able to live.
Oh wow, just for being a United States citizen to make
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It's just going to happen, whether people want it to happen or not. I think it will.
It's gonna have to.
They already do. We already do.
Yeah.
If you count disability, Social Security benefits, what we get as far as
But
Pell
they say
Grants
that
to go to college.
they say that those things aren't even going to be, like we're not even going to get those when we by the time we retire.
No, I'm talking about like unemployment, what people get in unemployment,
Mm-hmm.
what they get for healthcare assistance, what they get for housing allowances through the federal government, what they get through all these other means, Pell Grants, tuition assistance, food stamps. Just cut all that mess out and write people a check for $20,000
$20,000 what?
for a year.
Oh, a year. Okay.
Or just pay it to them on a monthly
Yeah.
scale, whatever. And then you negate the need for 5 different departments writing people 5 different checks for 5 different reasons.
Yeah.
Because I hate to say it, 40 hours at Walmart ain't gonna cut it.
No, definitely not.
But that's my little economic rant for the day.
Yeah. That's going to be on our next podcast. 2 men talking economics,
Oh no.
or politics. 2
No.
men talking politics.
No. Make America great again. Oh boy. That Trump guy, huh?
Yeah.
He's insane.
All right. So, is that going to open the door for us to roll into make trailers great again?
Ooh, wow, that hurt. No, trailer trash has always been at a peak level of greatness.
Right. But
Just like
trailers
America.
overall right now, do you think they're at an all-time high or low?
Wow, so this has been an interesting debate. A lot of people think trailers are getting worse because they're showing too much. A lot of people think that they're
I think
revealing too much plot lines.
I think they're misleading. That's what I feel like now.
Oh my gosh,
Don't you?
You're a little jaded because of a certain movie we're going to review, but
In a future episode.
In a future episode, but no. I think the mode for viewing movies is changing. So streaming, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Redbox. There's so many different ways to efficiently view a movie, and the home theater is not getting worse.
No,
It's only getting better.
It's getting better. I heard now they're trying to come up with 8K TV resolutions. I'm sorry, revolutions. Yeah,
So
the 4Ks just hit the market, but that's pretty crazy.
So I was reading a little bit today that trailers are the reason why they're revealing a lot of big action scenes is because they need to draw people in to want to see them at a movie theater. I've always liked the experience of going to see a movie at a movie theater. I just like it. And that could just be my generation. Could
No.
just be me in general.
Yeah, that's what I love too. I love the experience of going to a movie theater.
So I think that trailers are being a little bit more honest about the movies. And I think that helps us make a better decision because it ain't $5 to go view a movie anymore. It's
Wow.
$15.
I know. Isn't that crazy? I remember when I was younger, a theater that opened, it was $1 for like a year to go there.
What?
Yeah, in the 90s. That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, with like a $10 popcorn.
Not at the time. It's probably $5 popcorn.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's like $10 now for
if I
popcorn.
want to see something in IMAX, right? Not be a plebe and just go to a normal one, then it's
Yeah.
$15 at prime time. So that leads us into trailer trash, where we have up today Skull Island.
Skull Island. And what exactly is this movie? What is this? If you were giving me the elevator pitch of what Skull Island is, what would you tell me?
A rebooted Samuel L. Jackson involved King Kong movie set 1975.
Is that the correct year? Did you
I
look
don't
that
know.
up, or you just took a
It's
while
in the
to guess?
70s.
Oh, okay.
So that's split the difference.
Yeah. So I was very surprised at this. We had a pretty good. When did the last King Kong movie come out? 2005.
I always get them mixed up with Godzilla for some reason.
It was either 2005, 2008. I think it was 2005.
One day we'll have an intern where he can just look stuff up.
Where they
like
can
this.
give us notes on the fly.
I had someone today volunteer to be one of our interns.
Did you say it's an unpaid position?
Yes. So yeah, if I had to say my elevator speech would be 1970s King Kong, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, wrapped up in a movie that looks like it's going to do King Kong justice. And cinematography, the shots in this look great, the scenes look great, the settings look on point. I think this is going to be a good
The
King Kong movie.
cinematography looks really good, and I particularly love that little dragonfly scene where you think you're seeing a extra helicopter fly in the distance there, and then the camera, what they call pulling focus. So they pull focus, and it's actually a dragonfly and not a helicopter. It's really cool.
I also like the
Little
fact
artsy thing
I'm
they
sorry.
added there.
Yeah, it was great. I also like that they have
Wait, why is that so hard for you to tell?
because I was going to interject and say something, but you just kept right on rolling.
Oh, okay.
I also like the fact that I like when movies harken back to something that was pre-human, that we don't necessarily have a full grasp on, that's still living out there in the world.
Of the unknown.
Yes, that
Yeah.
there is an unknown, like your Bigfoot scenario, not necessarily Bigfoot, but something like that.
Yeah.
There's something hiding in the woods, or there was something hiding in the mountains, and it's King Kong.
And I think that this movie looks like, from the trailer, like they are going to capitalize on that whole idea of the unknown.
Right.
As if you look at the older Kong movies, they had that build up in the scenes where they're giving the beautiful woman over to Kong. It's like a sacrifice, and the build up of Kong coming out of the woods was like the adrenaline and the unknown. Pretty much for this whole movie, it looks like it's going to be kind of that of like you're getting glimpses here and there of Kong, and they had that really cool scene where the camera's coming up and you see Kong in the distance. He's just standing there.
Yeah,
That's pretty creepy looking.
yeah, it was. So I'll probably see this at theaters.
Oh, I'm definitely going to see it. And it's got,
Maybe you'll invite me when you go to the theaters this time.
yeah. Although we're more efficient when we just go see it on our own. Have you realized that?
No,
Because we try to.
I would have been. I could have been there
Oh, okay.
Thursday night.
I didn't know.
You didn't know because you didn't ask.
Sorry.
Next up, we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. My first impressions of this was
Fantastic.
yeah, it's fantastic. Not overly fantastic, but just fantastic. And
It looks better than the first trailer they released, or the teaser, I guess. You would
right.
say.
The teaser really
Yeah.
didn't have me going, even though I probably said it looked awesome.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I say that about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anything
dude.
that has CGI in it, you like.
I'm like, oh my
You're
gosh,
a big Michael Bay fan.
magic. Okay, I took that a little too far there. Oh my gosh, if I could just poke your eyes out
Wow. Violent.
and replace them with CGI eyes. No, I'd like this. I'm not sure if I'll see this first week or second week. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I like this. I like the trailer. I thought it looked great.
I thought Harry Potter had a history of keeping you up at night.
Yeah, it did. It was. I was binge watching Harry Potter, and you're gonna make me tell us.
Yeah, you should. I think it's good. It's a nice
Okay.
story. It humanizes you.
Right.
You and your CGI eyes.
Well, I was watching Harry Potter, binging it. I didn't watch I binge watched all the movies, and then I took like a week off from, I guess, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Did you forget to go on PluggedIn.com to make sure you could watch it? Is that what it was? You didn't?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
I just don't. So I took a week off, and I wake up in cold sweats or hot sweats. I can't remember the temperature of my sweats.
Of your sweats.
But I woke up sweating. That could have been hot, could have been cold. Who knows? And what it was Voldemort, whose name should not be spoken, was chasing me or was trying to kill me or something, and I didn't know how to defeat him because I hadn't seen Part 2. So my mind was like telling the story in my brain, because you know how dreams work. Mm-hmm. You're not transported to some fantasy.
And you always
land.
see yourself in third person, like you're like watching yourself act out.
I see myself in first person.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always first person. I think. And so I woke up sweating. I was like, I need to finish Harry Potter. So the next morning, I fell back asleep. My pulse returned to normal. Stopped sweating.
Did you continue watching Harry Potter?
Yeah, I watched it the next day so I
Okay.
could figure out how
You
to kill
finished it.
Voldemort just in case it came back up. And it probably did, and I probably defeated him, and I didn't wake up in my dreams.
So do you think you're gonna watch this new one or no?
Yes, I'm going to watch
Safe
this
to
new
say.
one. Yeah, safe to say.
Okay.
As long as the story gets resolved at the end.
As long as they don't leave you on a cliffhanger. Where
It's like,
you could say
how do we beat this bad guy? We don't know. Stay tuned for 2 years from now.
I liked that Colin Farrell, right? Is that his name? Yeah.
Yes.
I like that he's in it.
Okay.
Do you like him as an actor?
He's all right.
Yeah, he's got a weird history as a person, but he's a pretty good actor.
Don't we all, though?
Yeah. But he doesn't really follow the whole like Hollywood
There it is.
lifestyle of like keep your private life private. He's just kind of like, didn't he bring a prostitute to the award ceremony or something?
Don't a lot of them?
Yeah, but I think his was pretty obvious.
Oh, I was like, yeah, this is my prostitute.
Yeah.
This is my side piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's him, he's just
I
doing
mean,
him.
yeah, that's him, but it was interesting. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah, so he's in it. And then so next up we have King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
I don't know how I feel about this one.
I feel pretty good about this one. I'm a big King Arthur fan. Anything like pre-1500s England, I'm all in. They got me hooked. Robin Hood. Was Robin Hood pre-1500? No, Magna Carta was like 16.
See, I'm with you on that. I don't
14.
know how I normally do with the whole fantasy vibe, though. Like, this is why I could never really get into Game of Thrones.
Get out.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so you don't like Lord of the Rings?
But I do. That's what's
wait.
weird. That's the only exception to the, like,
Chronicles of Narnia?
I didn't really like those movies. I like the old one, the British.
You don't like Chronicles of Narnia?
I like the old
And you're a
British.
Christian.
I like the old British one where the girl kept saying, "Aslan."
I don't even know what to say right now.
And remember, the queen was like, gave the kid a wish.
I don't believe this. For
and he
one hot
wished
minute.
for Turkish delight.
Yeah.
Remember, there were like people in costumes. Yeah, that one was awesome.
Yeah, it still had the same premise. It still had magic in fantasy worlds.
I know, but it was acceptable because I was.
So did you like Harry Potter or no?
That's different though. That's a different kind of fantasy.
Oh my goodness! It's
I'm
magic.
talking about
It's
this
a
whole
fantasy
like
world.
the whole like dragons and spells and people of like long lineages and you can't keep up with anyone's names and stuff like that. Just goes over my head. It's too
Wow.
much information.
You know when that girl said that she didn't know if you were a good judge of movies because you
Yeah.
didn't like Captain America?
So now you're gonna say you don't know if I'm.
I
a
don't.
Good,
The jury's still out with that girl. I don't
Wow.
know if she's right. I'd like to meet her. I'd like to talk to her for a little
now
bit.
you think you guys need to
Yeah.
converse on the whole.
Maybe she should join our show.
Maybe. I will say this does have the whole See, this is what it is. Every summer, movies like this come out, and they're never really good. The trailers always look interesting.
You're right. You're right.
But they're action packed. They're meant to hook people in with how much special effects they have.
trailer trash though is a little bit more of a hype segment though. Like we hype things.
Like, all right, but for instance, like Gods of Egypt, right?
no one was hyping that.
That's how this movie was been hyped. Then they had
So
Snow White and the Huntsman.
yeah, but it doesn't have stinking Jude Law, Aaron Bama, Eric
Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana. Yeah.
Bana. Eric Bana. Jude Law, Eric Bana. Let me pull up the cast on this. One hot minute.
So I don't know. You know, it's hard to trust stuff like this. It could be good though. It could be.
Yeah, I thought it was very like action packed. It looks like it has a good story. A guy who doesn't know his true origin finds out his true origin, is like, no, thank you, and then has to out of necessity to live, coming to.
Yeah, I think I saw when the giant elephant was like smashing through some rubble and doing something.
You just lost interest with giant elephants.
I don't know. Then I that whole light bulb. What I was telling you of those summer movies that come out that are never really good, but they just put them out there because someone's gonna watch them.
Okay.
That's kind of like I was like started getting that vibe, and I was like, I don't know.
So you're gonna go see this in theaters or what?
If it's one that we'll review, yeah, on my own, no.
Okay.
So
Wow. You are something else.
just being honest.
Wow, I appreciate your honesty. I'll be very honest in real time.
What's the next trailer you got there for us?
So our last installment of Trailer Trash will be a movie called Moana. And this looks like to be a Disney movie, not a Pixar movie. This movie looks like it will be a story of a girl trying to find her way, and looks like a demagogue. Is that right, Joe?
I believe that is the word they used. Yes,
The demagogue?
Yeah.
Who is kind of like looks like a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson type character.
Well, I do believe that both Dwayne the Rock Johnson and this demigod figure are both Samoan. So
Really? I didn't know Dwayne was Samoan.
I think he is. Pretty sure.
So it looks like their quest to save the world, some arch nemesis or
Something. Some kind of. They're gonna save the world. And this guy's name is what? Maui.
No, his yes, his
Demigod.
name is Maui.
Maui, and her name is
Moana.
Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like another wheelhouse win for Disney.
Yeah, it's not Pixar, but it's got that Pixar vibe, right?
Right, like that Big Hero 6. That wasn't Pixar. That was Disney.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of same thing with like the Frozen and
Yeah.
that wasn't Pixar.
I
Yeah.
don't.
So
no,
hard.
no, Frozen.
Disney does own Pixar now, though, right?
Yeah, but I think they're all kind of working together.
Okay, gotcha.
They use a lot of the same departments for when they do movies and stuff. But Pixar, I guess, produces different things. So Disney is going to continue owning the world, definitely owning the box office by the end of this year for sure. And this looks like another step in that direction.
Interesting.
So what do we got for real time?
Yeah, so that rolls us to the next segment called Real Time. I have 4 pieces of news for you today.
Okay.
The first one comes from a little place I call independent .co.uk. So it's a UK site. I actually like getting my sources from these UK sites.
Yeah, they tell the truth.
Yeah, I feel like they don't censor stuff like US
News
people do.
organization.
Yeah. So this first article, the headline is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is now the highest paid actor in the world. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, he puts
And
out a lot of
I
decent
guess
movies.
obviously he's in this Moana film we were talking
Yeah.
about, playing Maui. So pretty crazy. According to independent.co.uk, professional wrestler turned Hollywood blockbuster mainstay.
I don't know about that. He's not really a blockbuster.
Well, I don't know. That's arguable. You're right. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was officially declared the world's highest paid actor according to the Forbes Celebrity 100. Johnson, who has garnered quite a tally of top grossing films in recent years, has brought in a total of $64.5 million earnings in the 15 years since his silver screen debut in The Mummy Returns. That was a terrible movie. Most of his movies, I feel like, were.
They're not great.
They're not good. They're like, remember we were talking about
They're
that
like made
King
for
Arthur
TV.
movie? He
Yeah.
would play in that.
No.
I could see him totally in that movie. He is ranked 19th on the Forbes coveted list, on which he first appeared.
Which Forbes list? The highest paid entertainers, or
The list is Forbes Celebrity 100. So celebrities with the highest pay. So he's ranked number 19. And they said he first appeared on.
Wait, he's brought in $65 million since that movie, The Mummy, or $65 million this year?
Since that movie, The Mummy.
How long ago was that?
15 years. So, however, here's the thing: is the reason that he's so high on this is that there are some celebrities who make more, but all of his earnings are being almost, what was it, 64.5 million. That's just from films that he's in.
Gotcha.
Right. So you might have celebrities that are part of nonprofits, which they're making a little profit from, or I don't know, whatever they got.
Like
business
production
ventures.
studios.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
What I've heard is that one of the smartest things Adam Sandler ever did was start a production studio.
Yeah. So it says that Johnson, 44, has starred in 7 films that have grossed more than $100 million since he first appeared in the fifth installment of Fast and the Furious saga in 2011. So that was really what kicked up once he hit that Fast and Furious.
So that's like he's making like $4 million a year.
I guess.
Is that what I'm reading?
But it's gone up. That's what they're saying. It's gone up since then.
Yeah, but I mean over what 15-year period? That's $4 million a year.
I guess. I mean, he's in a lot of stuff though too. If you think of shows too, he's in that HBO show Ballers.
Yeah. Huh.
He did.
I really like what HBO's doing.
I do too.
I like what they're doing. They're putting out a lot of great content.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing.
Veep,
But look,
Silicon Valley, Ballers. I haven't seen Ballers, but I'm assuming it's good. Could just be provocative and vulgar. I don't know.
So Dwayne Johnson, so he's on this list. One of the things he has is that there's a studio called 7 Bucks Productions, which is a production company that Dwayne Johnson founded with his partner, but it's now his ex-wife.
Ooh.
I think her name is. It's like
Lane?
It's like Danny with one N, so Danny.
Dainty.
Danny, or unless it's a girl form of Danny. Is that how you spell that?
Yeah, you can say
Danny Garcia.
I know a woman, Danny.
Yeah, so he produced that show Ballers through that company.
Huh.
But the name 7 Bucks actually comes from a moment when Johnson was down on his luck, and he only had $7 in his pocket in 1995.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got any sources for this?
He was
Is this
in-
all from Independent?
No, this is all from this thing. Yeah, it said that he was in a Canadian Football League.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess his thing into there. Isn't that crazy? He said, this is the quote from him. He said, "I looked in my pocket and I had $7. Wow, $7 to my name," he said.
Yeah. Some of the greatest people are the ones who are always being chased.
Yeah.
I try to keep a little bit of that mentality.
So that's cool.
There's always someone out there working harder.
Went from failed football player to wrestler to now one of the top 100 celebrities.
That's what. So I follow Casey Neistat's vlog, and I don't think he does anything special. But what he said makes him or sets him apart. He's the most popular YouTube vlogger there is, and sets him apart. What his competitive advantage is, working harder than everyone else. And I think that's what Dwayne The Rock embodies. He just works harder. He's on more movies. He gets more roles. He networks. He knows more people. Because in order to get these roles, he has to know these directors. And these directors have to like him. So he has to sell himself. And starting his production company, he had to sell himself to HBO.
Wouldn't that fall? Nicolas Cage works pretty hard too.
Yeah, he's just a hustler.
But he's not. He's definitely not on this list as far as I know. So
No, I think Nick got himself into, dug himself a hole.
heavy drug addictions.
I don't know. I can't confirm that. I think he might have lived a little outside of his means.
Maybe.
And then when the well
Speaking
dried,
of outside of their means, the next article comes from dailymail.co.uk, another UK website. I like
Yeah.
Daily Mail.
Really? Isn't that like the tabloids of the internet?
Dailymail.com. What?
Isn't dailymail.com, isn't that kind of like tabloid material?
No. Daily Mail is more like entertainment news, kind of like Yahoo. Like they don't really do,
Much research.
What?
Nothing.
They don't do much. No, they do research. They just don't report on really important stuff. It's
Okay.
kind of like hot topics.
Like, oh, so and so didn't wear makeup today.
Yeah, yeah. So Daily Mail, this news headline says Snowden film almost killed by self-censorship. I think this is a movie we're going to see, right? Snowden. That's Snowden.
Yeah.
Movie. Definitely looks good. I'm a fan of Snowden. I think what he did, it was against the law, but by following the law, I think that would have been a more evil, don't you think? In his scenario, I'm not saying everyone needs to leak stuff, but
it's a more complicated situation than what most people in our position like to make it.
it is. I think he's an American hero, though, when it comes down to it.
I think he's a patriot. I'm not sure if American hero.
I would say a hero. I don't know how successful his exposure was because there's a lot of people who didn't care, which is sad.
I think he cared about the rights of the citizens. And
Yeah,
I think that makes him a patriot.
Yeah, he sacrificed his life.
Whether he's a hero or not.
Maybe not. He's not physically dead, but he lost everything. You know.
If anyone wants to say that he did this for personal gain,
No, that's definitely not true. at all.
you're lying to
Yeah,
yourself.
you have no
and-
idea.
Because, I mean, would you want to live away from all of your family in Russia and only be able to communicate to the people you care about through Skype?
And I think his time's running up in Russia too. I think they're making him get out soon. He was in China, and he had a year sanctuary there, and now he had to get out. So I think he's running out of time in Russia.
I'm looking forward to this movie. Hopefully it's, I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the main guy, right?
Yeah, he will be played in Snowden. So according to Daily Mail, so a little bit of preference before we go into this. The Snowden leak, for those who don't know, is actually considered the largest data leak in United States history. So all this went down.
More so than Hillary's emails?
Yeah,
Got her.
I think so.
Really?
Because none of that was we don't still know where any of that is. Or
Yeah,
some of it.
It's
So
all in the trash.
yeah. So
Or she doesn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know it was an email server. I don't know.
mm-hmm. So Oliver Stone is making this film, and it's very hotly anticipated. I guess you say hotly debatable whether like you said, some people don't like this guy, some people like him. What was that?
You need to pull the mic closer to your face.
Oh, okay.
I just made a weird
I thought
motion.
you were telling me you were going to punch me in the face.
No, I was trying to get you to.
Oh, okay.
Because I have the headphones.
Yeah, you have the headphones today. So this is a little bit of information. So Snowden tells the story. This is straight cap from the Daily Mail. Snowden tells the story from NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden in the dramatic form for the first time, but the movie almost never made it into theaters.
Why?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
This is a quote from Stone, the director. Frankly, it was turned down by every major studio. The script was good, the budget was good, the cast was good. It was definitely self-censorship.
So no one wanted to touch the hot topic.
Basically. He said, I don't believe there was an enemy such as the NSA lurking in the background, but definitely self-censorship is a huge issue in the industry, and it blocks so much of the truth from coming out. Every studio, every corporate board that runs the studio, more than the studio people said no.
Yeah, I think
So
Hollywood.
the owners of these studios didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, Hollywood in general has a very cozy relationship with the government. Whether it's specific grants to film in the United States or in certain states, or whether it's telling a national story. I mean, you just think of all the nationalistic movies that are told about the United States and how great we are. And there's just a very cozy relationship. And I don't think they want to rock the boat that feeds them and allows them to do what they do and make the money they make. I mean, Hollywood accounting, it doesn't have a name for it because it's fun. It's because they get to make all these weird changes, and somehow it's okay with the IRS. I'm not saying it's some big conspiracy. I think they're trying to make a little bit more out of it than what it is, but Hollywood's very comfortable with their relationship with the U.S. government. I don't think they want to rock the boat.
I don't think so. And they have, movies and everything we consume has a very strong influence on the population. Right.
Yeah, how many movies paint the U.S. in a bad light?
Not many.
Right. I mean, so Why would they want to do something like that?
Yep. And well, not even the U.S., but not many movies paint the powers that govern in bad light.
Sure. Uh-oh. Getting some conspiracy waters here.
Yeah.
We're touching our toes.
So this article closes with the fact that they say that the independent production company called Open Road, which distributed the movie Spotlight that won Best Picture.
Yeah, isn't that the one with the Catholic priest
Yep,
touching all those boys?
I believe so.
What's so funny?
Nothing, just the way that you describe that movie.
Well, that's what it is.
Pretty much, it's about
pretty
it's
disgusting.
about a news agency going after him and exposing him.
Yeah. Whoa.
So, anyways,
Poor choice of words.
This company, Open Road, has agreed to distribute the movie in the United States. And this has a set release date for September 16th.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see that
I think we will. It looks really good.
together. Maybe you can invite me
Yeah,
to this
yeah,
one.
definitely.
All right, yes.
Definitely. So the next,
So
so
you're
that's
pretty choosy about the theaters you go to. I think that's why you don't invite me anymore.
because I know you're not going to go to the
You
other
want me
one.
to go to all the crappy ones.
What?
I said I want you to go to all the crappy ones. You like your soft cushiony seats. You like to be able to recline back and let your hair down.
This third bit of news I have comes from also dailymail.com. Star Trek actor Anton Yelkin, I think I said that right?
Yeah.
Died of his injuries in less than a minute after his Jeep crushed him as the coroner officially rules it an accident.
Yeah, I think there was a recall for that problem.
I think there was. This story, this happened, let me see, what was the date of this? This was very soon. June 17th, I want to say. Is that right?
I don't know, Joe. You're the one reading it.
I am. Whatever, I can't find it. So yeah, according to the dailymail.com, Star Trek actor Anton Yelkin reportedly died of his injuries less than a minute after he was pinned between his SUV and a security fence. The 27-year-old was found pinned against the gate of his home in Studio City, California, by his Jeep Grand Cherokee at around 1 a.m. on Sunday. The Jeep crushed his lungs, and investigators believe he died within 60 seconds of the impact. Yelkin's death was ruled an accident by the Los Angeles Medical Examiner after the autopsy was performed on Sunday.
That's just awful.
It is sad. He was a young guy, only 27. That's only a year older than we are.
Yeah.
And it's such a sad way to die too. It's not
Knowing that those 60 seconds were probably the longest.
60 seconds of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
mean,
say
it was
so. I
just-
mean, his lungs were crushed. He basically suffocated.
He's probably thinking this is how it happened.
Yeah, it's sad.
I
And
can't
like you
believe
said, there's been some reports actually now of coming out of Jeep having this problem with multiple of their Grand Cherokees. So
And he talked to all my Jeep buddies.
yeah, I guess this was, and a couple of years ago they had another problem. I want to say it was with the Wranglers or maybe the regular size Cherokee not being, they would jump into gear or something like that. I think this problem was they're saying that it slipped out of park. People put it, or they think they put it in park, and it's not really in park. And
Right.
yeah.
That's I always think about what these people could have been. Like the roles they could have played, the stories they could have told, how much different.
Yeah, what his life could have really been. I mean, because 27 years old, man, that's nothing.
Yeah, he had so much ahead of him. I mean,
It's sad. Yeah, his career was doing great, and
we'll miss you, Anton.
yeah, I wonder if this is going to turn into something. I mean, I hope that Jeep does have some way to answer to this. Don't you think?
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean,
I mean, they need to
hopefully
answer.
there's-
I'm not saying it's. I don't know every bit of evidence in this case.
See, this is just like remember when we were watching Nice Guys,
Yeah.
and it's more expensive for them to pay out the lawsuits than it is to recall the vehicles. This feels like one of those episodes.
Or it's cheaper for them to pay out the lawsuits.
Yeah,
than
it's
to
cheaper for
yeah.
them to pay out the lawsuits than it is to make the recall, so they just pay
Yeah.
out the lawsuits as they come.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Sad thing. So the next article actually has to do. It's kind of connected with this in that it has to do around the same movie. Anton was in the movie Star Trek, the Star Trek series,
Right.
directed by J.J. Abrams. And this next story comes from HollywoodReporter.com. The headline is George Takei reacts to gay Sulu news. Think it's really unfortunate. So anyways, this article basically summarizes, there's a lot of they said, she said type thing, you know. But basically this article summarizes that the new movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, Captain Sulu is now gay.
Yeah, I did notice that. Did you see Star Trek?
I didn't see this movie.
Okay, yeah. So they stop at the spaceport that's as big as a planet, basically.
It's a space station.
A small moon.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the premise of the movie, I don't know if I should spoil it. But anyways, they stop at the big space station, and I guess this guy, what's his name again? What's the name of the character?
Captain Sulu.
Captain Sulu hooks up with his family. It's a dude and a kid. You're like, oh, okay. And they kind of like, I think they kiss and then they hug each other's necks and then they kind of walk off with their arms around each other. And you're just like, oh, I didn't know he was gay. And so I didn't really think much of it. It's not like they threw it in your face. It felt like they just put that in there, just like, oh, by the way, he's gay. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you move on. I don't think there was any other like.
It was just a
reference to
scene.
it. Yeah.
Well, so according to this article, George Takei is actually mad that they made Captain Sulu's character gay. Takei came out as gay actually back in 2005.
Okay.
And ever since then, he's been putting basically all of his time into, you know, he's been an activist for gay rights and in the LGBTQ community. So it's really kind of surprising that he has this view of this, right? You know, he's still active in the LGBTQ community and all this stuff, and he's been involved with promoting the films, just like the guy who plays Spock. I can't think of his name.
Right.
And so they wanted, you know, just to honor the character and honor him as an actor. And so they decided in the next movie, well, we'll write a scene
Where he meets his family.
right, and he's gay, and that's kind of like a nod to George Takei. Well, apparently they did this with. I don't know if they asked him it or not. I think they just kind of did it as a surprise.
Yeah, they just did it as a surprise, and George was like, no, just make another character gay. My character is not gay.
Yeah, so George Takei was actually upset, and he actually said to the Hollywood Reporter, he said, I'm delighted that there's a gay character. Unfortunately, it's a twisting of Gene's creation. Gene being the original creator of Star Trek.
Right.
To which he put in so much thought. I think it's really unfortunate. So I think really what it is George Takei is happy that there's a gay character, but he doesn't like the idea of
an original character who was not gay being turned gay.
Right, and I think he feels like they're pandering to the LGBT community.
Right.
And he instead of being joyed, he's offended because it's I think he feels like it's a slap in the face.
It's kind of a little lazy.
Like you think like
Don't you think? Don't you think it's a little lazy?
Yeah, and I think he views it as like you think that he would be so childish as to be, you know, like I think he thinks of it like an insult. Like
yeah, I think it's lazy because instead of putting thought into it and writing a gay character into Star Trek, they decided to just make a character gay.
Yeah.
That had no other backing, no other previous support to being gay.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me is just why not? If you care that much about having gay characters in movies, why don't you write a role for a character who's important to the plot, write it into the movie versus just having a character who's already intertwined with the plot being gay.
Mm-hmm. But really to director J.J. Abrams and Simon Pegg, this is up to them, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is the reimagining of Star Trek, kind of like the reboot of, for a new generation. Like, I didn't really grow up on Star Trek. It was before my time, and I saw some of the movies growing up, but, you know, it wasn't like Star Wars to me, where it hooked me in. So this is really a reboot of all the characters, so they can really do anything they want. They could have made Captain Kirk gay for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. They can make anyone gay.
Yeah, they could do whatever they want. And
I don't know. I guess it's a little unwarranted on his part, and I
yeah,
think they
I
could have done a
understand
better
both.
job.
I understand both sides of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that ends our segment that we call Real Time.
Yeah, I guess up is our brand new segment, huh? Shiny, flashy new segment.
Yeah, that we're gonna add, and we decided to call this what, rental of the week.
Yeah.
Rental of the week. So
Flick of the week.
flick of the week. I like rental of the week.
Rental of the week.
Flick puts too much emphasis on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
Right. So maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Do I get this one? Because I have a movie.
Yeah, you have a movie. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's accessible to most people who have technology.
And so wait, this is a real quick. This segment is a segment where we're going to suggest a movie that we've seen on our own. And it's not a review.
No.
We're not going to review the movie. We're just going to say, hey, if you want to watch this movie, you can go rent it or watch it on demand if they have it on any streaming sites, right?
Right.
All right. And so you have the movie this week. We're going to kind of ping pong. You'll have a movie one week. I'll have a movie.
Well, this movie isn't as accessible as you would think because it's not available across any platform. It's exclusive only to one provider, which is Netflix. But most people I know have Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The Little Prince.
The Little Prince.
Have you seen that? Have you
I
seen
haven't.
this?
That's the animated movie that was
Right.
released, right?
This is more of it's not an adult movie, but I think it takes a well-informed mind to kind of understand the movie and kind of get behind it. But basically the premise is a little girl who is wired to succeed by her mother moves next door to a man who is grown up but hasn't forgotten how to be a child or how to realize what's important in life. And I thought it was really good. Because so many times we can get wired into just making that next paycheck, making those month-to-month bills, getting the family somewhere, going on vacation. We just get into this routine of living life and being successful, and we forget how to have fun, how to be a kid.
Yeah.
Not to just be a kid, but to kind of enjoy life, I guess is the best way to put it. Because kids enjoy life because they're so carefree. And a lot of responsibility can kind of heap itself onto us, and we can get lost in the interworkings of life and we say, we're so busy, and not enjoy life and live it to its fullest. So I really like this movie.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out. I saw that up on Netflix, and I haven't watched it yet.
It's different. The concept's different.
The animation looks nice, though. It looks good. Now,
Yeah.
And there's actually two animations, right? Because there's some storytelling where the grandfather's telling stories or something like that.
Yeah, so he's telling stories, and it has kind of like the feel of like an old Disney like film.
So when he's telling us
cartoon
stories,
almost.
it shows a different story
Right.
in a different animation.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. There's a lot of bright colors. It's pretty cool. The story itself is kind of hard to grasp at the beginning. Like you think there's a better way to tell this, maybe. But
Yeah.
I was surprised at a lot of the names in the movie: Ricky Gervais, Rachel McAdams,
Nice.
James Franco.
Wow.
So I liked it.
You'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our review, right? Ghostbusters 2016. I guess is that the correct title?
The rebooted female version of Ghostbusters.
All female cast. Almost. Main cast, right?
Yeah.
So, what did you think about this movie? I'll let you start with your spoiler-free review. And you can give it your score, 1 through 10. What would you say?
All right, so I'm going to give you one word that describes the movie to me.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of what I thought about the movie. And then I'm going to give you my score. And then you can play off of that.
Okay.
You're welcome. One word to describe the movie is forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was funny at points. If anyone's seen an SNL skit, everyone kind of laughs like, oh, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you might even laugh out loud at some points. But as a whole, it's just entertaining. You're just kind of there watching and experiencing, and you're smiling for some of the movie. But this really didn't have like a true Ghostbusters feel to it, I think. So it was just kind of forgettable for me. Like I really, now that we're doing this, what is this, 3 weeks out since we've probably seen the movie?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I really can't remember much about the movie because it just didn't really do it for me. So my score is probably like 4.5. 4.5, yeah. That'd be my score.
4.5. I think. Would you suggest that people see this in theaters?
No.
I think it's.
I think it's going to be tough to watch on Netflix too, because you're going to get so disinterested. Because Facebook's going to be right there, Twitter's going to be right there. The kids will be running around. It's just it doesn't really capture your attention at all.
Yeah, it was. I like the word you used where you said that it was like an SNL skit, because I think this movie would have made a way better SNL skit than it would a movie.
Oh, I totally agree. If they combine the best jokes and put it into an SNL skit, it's probably best all time.
Yeah, it would have been really good. It's, and really what's funny too is that there's a lot of SNL cast members on here. We have Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Kristen Wiig, and then
Leslie Jones by far was the best part of this movie.
Yeah, I would say so too. She did a good job. And Melissa McCarthy, she wasn't a cast member. She's been on SNL plenty of times. And yeah, I agree. It was pretty forgettable. It was just an okay movie. If you're gonna compare it to the old ones, it doesn't really come close. It has the look of the old ones. Like it has the.
I don't even want to compare it to the old ones because it's not even on the same level.
I mean, like the ghosts still look the same, right? They still have that look of the old ones, and
yeah.
But one thing I think it was lacking was that feel of like the campiness of the old ones. That old, like all those 80s movies that have those one-liners that are just so golden that you can remember and quote, and you know what I mean? Like this movie just wasn't quotable, and there was nothing that's just popped out about it. It was just bland, you know?
Bland. So
Bland.
we've got forgettable SNL skit, bland.
Yeah. It didn't have.
Was it because of an all-female cast? Is that really why you hated it?
No, I like the cast. I think it was the writing. It was just nothing really exciting happened, you know?
Right. The plot, I don't even think some of the characters really got into their roles. I didn't think Melissa McCarthy. Absolutely love Melissa McCarthy, but I don't really think she got into her role. It didn't really feel believable. Leslie Jones felt the most real.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
I liked her character probably the most out of all of them.
Yeah. What was your score? What do you think? What's your score?
I would probably give it a 5 out of 10.
5?
Yeah.
So is that an average of 4.75?
Yeah, 4.75.
Is that the lowest one we've done so far?
I believe so. I think the next lowest one would have been.
I don't know. Jungle Book, maybe? Captain America?
No,
but I like
it's
Jungle Book.
I think it was Captain.
Should we go back and re-rate Jungle Book?
No.
I think that's like a 6 or 7.
I think it was Captain America. That was the one we gave.
Because you gave a pretty low one. You were pretty mad.
No, I think it was 5.5. I think was our total for that one. I can't say for sure. We'll have to go back and listen to it, but I'm pretty sure it was around there. So,
point that thing somewhere else.
Is there anything else you can say about this movie before we go into the spoiler review?
Don't go see it in theaters. If you try to watch it at home, I think you'll get disinterested with cooking or something, or getting up and getting some ice cream. I don't know. It's just I mean, it's okay. If you haven't seen it yet and it's been out like a year, then
if you're
sure,
a huge
watch it.
Ghostbusters fan, just go watch it.
I think they've probably seen it by now.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. And that would be the real, because I like Ghostbusters, but I'm not a crazy Ghostbusters fan. So that would be the real question, is to get a fan's point of view of it, see what they thought.
Yeah.
So remember, if you're going to turn this podcast off now because you don't want to hear a spoiler review, go to iTunes and give us a rating and review and hit subscribe. And the reason we ask you to give us a rating and review is because ratings and reviews help us show up in the charts on iTunes. And showing up in the charts is the number one way that new listeners will be able to find us. So if you can please go do that. We don't ask you guys for money. We don't. I don't know what else. What else do podcasters bug their audiences about? Giving ratings and reviews.
Go buying MeUndies underwear.
Yeah. We don't do sponsorships right now. I mean, we're doing.
We're trying to keep it bare the bones. Unless
Yeah.
MeUndies want us to, then we'll definitely do it.
So really, I mean, this will help us show up, and it'll help our show get more views. So please go to iTunes and give us a rating review.
Yes, please do. I would really appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Tried to think of the most harmless thing. Something I loved from my childhood. Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us. Mr. Stay Puft.
Nice thinking, Ray.
We used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows by the fire at Camp Wakanda.
Ray has gone bye-bye, E-Gun. What have you got left?
Sorry, Beckman. I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
And so this is where we go into our spoiler review.
2 men talking movies.
It's like a restart of the show.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
So the movie opens up with a quick what they're in a house tour, and you get to see like your first glimpse of it. Was a good opener. I actually like that.
Was that Jonah from Veep? Was that who that was?
Is he in Veep? I know he was in a couple of the last seasons of The Office.
Nope. That wasn't. Was he?
Yeah, as what was his name on The Office?
I don't think so. Oh, was it Gabe?
Gabe, yep.
Okay, I'm thinking of someone totally different. Jonah would have been better though.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a cool. It was. I mean, there was a lot of celebrities in this movie. A lot of like small parts. I loved the fact that they had.
No. Let's don't get away from the house. Let's stay on track here.
Oh, you want to go?
Yeah.
Go with that? Okay.
So it starts off with the house, and we think the house might be haunted, but it looks like he's playing some
It was
tricks.
the best part of the movie was the intro.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying to figure the movie out.
It was
it's
a
kind
cool
of capturing your
Yeah, like,
attention.
oh, cool. And then the credit, the Ghostbusters theme comes on.
I would have liked a little bit more of that play in the movie, like them having to prove that the Ghostbusters are real.
That the Ghostbusters are real, or that the ghosts are real?
Sorry, that the ghosts are real. I think I would have liked a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I liked how they did the conspiracy theory of like the government knowing about it and covering it up.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I think her character, what was her
Who's
name?
her?
Gosh, what's her name?
Kate McKinnon?
No.
Leslie Jones?
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen
Sorry.
Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig's character gave in a little too soon.
To them becoming the Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think so. I think I liked the fact that there were some surprise cameos. I thought they were surprised. I don't know if they really advertised that Sigourney Weaver, Bill Murray,
Dan Aykroyd.
Who was the guy that Leslie Jones' grandfather?
Let's see. Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, thank you.
No. That's his character's name. Got you. You acted like you knew. Winston Zedmore.
I knew the name. I don't know Winston Zedmore. I did recognize Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, because that's his name in Ghostbusters.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Nope. Ernie Hudson's definitely his name. Ernie Hudson's definitely his name. Sorry, I read that wrong.
I was going to say, I knew the name Ernie Hudson. Stop messing up. Winston was his name.
Yes.
That was the name on his suit, Winston.
Yes. Yes, this is all. I botched that. Sorry.
Yeah, you're killing me. All right.
Sorry, that's why I'm the intern.
Yes, that was cool. Did you like that they were in that?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, woohoo!
Yeah.
Bill Murray. I'm going to take a little minute here to talk about how unsettled I feel about Bill Murray right now.
Unsettled? What do you mean?
I think he might be a little bit of a douche. Like everyone wants to say he's this just Joe Blow, cool Hollywood guy who kind of just shows up and does awesome films. I think he can probably be a little bit of a douche to work with.
Why do you say that?
Just because he was originally supposed to be doing this reboot, but it's always so hard to get a hold of him. I don't think he has an agent.
He was supposed to originally be like the director of it.
No, he was
he was
supposed
the
to.
actor.
It was supposed to. Ghostbusters was originally supposed to be Ghostbusters 3.
Wow.
It was
I
supposed
did
to
not know
return
this.
all the cast, and it was going to feature some of these newer characters in it.
Like they're passing
And
down the
supporting
reins
roles.
of like.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And no one
That
could
actually
get,
sounds like a more interesting film.
No, it sounds like a way better film.
Yeah.
And no one could get a hold of Bill Murray. Bill Murray didn't want to do it. He wouldn't learn the script. He wouldn't show up. He wouldn't do anything. He was just, I don't want to do it.
Then they should have just written his character off. That he died or something.
No, but once his role couldn't be, I think he agreed to do it, but wouldn't be complacent in filming and wouldn't show up. So, the jury's out on Bill Murray for me.
So you think he's a jerk for not playing his part?
I've also heard a lot of other stories that he's very difficult to work with on set. He doesn't have an agent, so it's really tough to get a hold of.
Bill Murray doesn't have an agent?
No.
Weird.
I'll confirm this right now.
Fact check that.
I will.
That's a weird...
Like, if you want to get a hold of him, you basically have to leave a voicemail.
Because he probably is not on social media or even does email. You have to find him in person to get a hold of him.
Murray, 64, has not made it easy to get him to be in your movie. Unlike any other actor of his nature, he has no agent, no manager, no publicist. If you want to cast him, you get a friend of his to persuade him, or you call a secret 1-800 number and leave your pitch after the tone. From Rolling Stone.
Weird. So he has a 1-800 number that you can call and leave a voicemail at?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but
he's done a lot though. You know, he's been in a lot of. He always, especially of late, he has these kind of appearances of
reprisals or
like random appearances in films where he does these little parts. And you're like, oh, Bill Murray's in this movie.
Yeah, I guess he'll answer anything from Wes Anderson, right?
Oh yeah, I think he's been in just about everything Wes Anderson's put out.
So, I think a lot of this movie fell apart when
the special effects I thought were good. They didn't look cheesy to me. Did they look bad to you?
No, but I thought the way they did the Ghostbuster gun thing was kind of weird.
Yeah,
like they could destroy Ghost with it, but I thought it was only used to capture Ghost.
Yeah, to drag them like into the box.
But they were shooting right through him. That didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I like the I like the colors. The colors of the film, the color scheme.
That's how you know it wasn't great.
What we have to dig for things that you like.
I liked the setting. I mean, the backdrop of New York was really great for this movie. I thought it was just a great setting.
I mean, like we said, it was a bland. This was like
the font for the words that was really good.
No, this is a perfect movie of when you're watching TV one Saturday morning and there's nothing on, and this comes on, and you're like, I guess I have nothing else to watch.
I might watch one Saturday morning reruns before I watch this one. Seriously. I didn't really care for this movie.
What do you mean one Saturday morning reruns?
You never watched One Saturday Morning as a kid?
Yeah, it wasn't a show. It was like a segment.
No. One Saturday Morning was the name of the segment of cartoons.
I know.
I would
5
watch
hours
those
of summer once a week.
Let me explain myself. I'd rather watch the cartoons on One Saturday Morning, the reruns of those cartoons.
You said I'd rather watch reruns of One Saturday Morning, which didn't make any sense.
Okay. I'm sorry. Forgive me. For this, I would watch the cartoons on Saturday morning.
What were those cartoons?
Doug, Recess. You
got 5 hours. You just hit 2 shows, so that's 30 minutes each. So that's an hour.
What was the Kids in the Mall? No, not the Kids in the Mall. I'm getting that and like Rocket Power mixed up.
Birds, was that on there?
I don't know. Doug. Recess. There's another one. Oh, Pepper Ann.
Oh, yeah, Pepper Ann.
Pepper Ann. What else was on there? Do you remember?
No.
There's some other good stuff on there.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a review of that one week.
I feel like there was something else that I'm just missing. Maybe it was Pepper Ann I'm thinking of.
What did you think about the villain in Ghostbusters?
Wasn't believable.
Kind of a boring villain.
Yeah.
The
best part of his villain was turning into Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, taking over Chris Hemsworth, yeah.
Oh.
Chris. Speaking of Chris Hemsworth, I actually thought his character was pretty funny, didn't you?
It was all right.
Big.
Kind of tiring.
You think so?
Yeah, it was just kind of frustrating almost.
I think his dumbness was a nice.
I wonder if the people really believed that this movie was going to be funny. And now, I don't know if we're allowed to say this, and you can edit it out if you want, but now the producer came out and said that the people who are going to see the movies aren't don't like feminine roles or don't care for female actors.
That was something that he said.
Yeah. He blamed it on people hating
He's
women.
blaming bad reviews because he's saying, well, they're
Right.
sexist.
Yeah, I feel like that's a cop out.
Yeah, that is a cop out, and that's kind of a low blow to audiences. Like you can't
insult your movie.
Yeah, I mean you need to be able to admit that you didn't make a good movie. You know.
Yeah. If that's the case, why did Bridesmaid do so well?
What I'm interested to know is if they are going to do more of these remakes with all female casts.
I think it can work if you have a good script.
Think so?
I think this got blown. I think this got blown when they had to go from the Ghostbusters 3 to an all-female
They
cast.
just rushed it.
Yeah. They had to do something.
Yeah.
Because I guess they already got the financial, but I don't know. They had to do something. And so I don't think they had as much time on this script as they would have.
Yeah.
I think the script that got approved was not the one that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I didn't really have much else to say about this movie, do you?
No.
It's probably the quickest review we've ever done, and that really should show you how boring the movie was.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It's not that it was a bad movie, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything was kind of there. Like, it's not like you watch it and you're just like, oh, this is awful.
The effects were good.
It just
It was
wasn't.
funny at parts.
It was just okay. Like, it was forgettable, like you said.
Yeah. I feel like we're running around in circles here.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think that it was actually. I mean, sometimes you have movies that get made that are just everything about them is terrible, you know, and that was what makes them bad. That's not what this was. This was more so just like there was nothing really interesting happening at all.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with that.
You know, I mean, all the other pieces of the puzzle were still there. They just the whole picture wasn't all that great.
No.
Yeah.
The finished product was not very good.
Yeah. Yep. So remember, please, if you enjoy this podcast and you are a regular listener or a new listener, go to iTunes.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend.
Share it on Facebook.
Go to iTunes
Snapchat.
and look up 2 Men Talking Movies. And when you find us, give us a rating and review. And also hit subscribe. And we ask you to give us a rating review because rating and reviews are the best way for our podcast to show up in the charts.
If they're still listening now, I'm sure they heard the segment before.
To the charts on iTunes. Well, I like to just reiterate myself because I want people to know.
Are you going to insult our listeners like the guy who insulted those who went and saw Ghostbusters?
No, because I know our listeners aren't sexist.
Yeah, I hope not.
And I know that they want to help us out and give us a rating and review on iTunes.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll see you again in a little while, I guess. Soon, right? We'll have another episode coming out soon.
Soon and very soon.
Yep.
We are going to make another episode.
See you later.
Peace out.
Two Men Talking Movies.
I'm going to pass them over. I'm just making sure our levels are good. Check.
2
Men Talking Movies.
Prestige worldwide.
Check. All right, just
Black leather
say
gloves.
Say some more stuff. Check.
Black leather gloves.
Check.
Computers. Software. 100% customer service.
There you go. Thanks. The cord goes on the left. That's how you know which one's left, which one's right. And I will try to make this stretch over here.
That's what she said.